What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Quadcast, the show where we get real, get raw, and get loud about mental health, substance use, and the fight to take our lives back.
Each episode, we're cutting through the stigma, dropping knowledge, sharing stories, and bringing the heat with guests who have lived it and aren't afraid to talk about it.
So turn it up, lock in, and let's break barriers, spark change, and build a community that refuses to stay silent. You're tuned into the Quadcast, and let's get into it.
You can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, or email us. The Quadcast is always looking for new guests, whether you're individuals that have experienced it, you're in law enforcement, treatment programs, nurses, doctors, or anyone that just has something to say. Come share your story with us on mental health or substance abuse.
Warning, there's cussing in this video. If you don't like swear words, well, you're
watching the wrong damn show.
I think the biggest thing that is a trigger for me anymore is just freaking current events, man. I mean, just as much turmoil is in the country right now, it's just one thing after another. And I think that, personally for myself, keeps things stirred up to that higher level anymore.
Well, see, like me, and I agree with you on that. But like myself, because I know now that certain things like that bother me. I don't watch the news ever.
I haven't watched an actual news channel in a very long time.
No, like I don't watch the news. I don't look up anything with politics anymore. I don't look at anything going around the world. I know that probably sounds so shitty, but I look at it as now, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, whether I read about it, watch about it, whatever. And then you have something else to fucking worry about where life is hard as it is on its own. Why add to it?
Sure. Life's hard enough as it is. And I mean, at this point in time, you can't believe what's being posted on social media, what's being broadcasted on the news, because there's so much he said, she said, back and forth. This is wrong. This is right. Okay, that's one hell of a way to put it. I mean really. And that's legit. Everybody's full of shit, and it doesn't matter if you're actually telling the truth or you're out there just spreading misinformation. You're full of shit to one certain aspect or another.
And you don't know what to believe or who to believe. So I look at it as I don't have to worry about it. I don't worry about it because I don't look at it. I don't read about it.
Exactly. And I mean, one biggest thing that I've noticed off of social media, and I've got a question on this that's coming up, but we'll touch on this, but the aspect of AI. There's so much on the internet, and I see people sharing it wholeheartedly through and through every day and standing on it. And I'm like, this is the fakest damn video I've ever seen in my life. And here everybody is literally up in arms about it.
If you put it on social media right now that it was raining $100 bills outside, how many people will run outside and try to catch them damn $100 bills?
Well, I ain't gonna run, but I'm probably gonna at least go out and look.
I ain't gonna run. Well, no, I guess you're probably not going to, buddy.
Shut up, Casey.
I love you.
Nobody asked you.
But you know what I'm saying is, and like you were saying, AI, there's so much make believe shit going on in the world. And everybody, well, I won't say everybody, but 90% of the population in this world are so damn gullible that they just, boom, boom. Okay, it's on here. It's got to be real.
And nobody fact checks anything. We just
take it. That's because fact check anymore is corrupted and it's broken too.
Well, that is true. So what role do schools, workplaces, and families play in a mental health awareness setting?
Family. We're going to start with that one.
All right.
Because as I said earlier, for me, when I started on my mental health journey, I had a lot of family that was not very encouraging. They were
Sure.
more downright kick you down while you're already down.
Right.
Uh, so family for me didn't really matter. I just kind of kicked those people to the curb, just as they were kicking me to the curb. Uh, but like having that support team of your family it really does help you, and you have to seek that. You have to, and yes, I mean legitimately, you have to seek it. Uh, the ones that do either understand or they try to understand, those are the ones you need to keep around. Those are the ones you need to talk to. Those are the ones that are going to keep you going on the days that you think you can't go on no farther. Uh, work wise, if you're not in the right mindset and you're at a shitty job that you hate, it's only going to make your mental health worse. And I promise you that I dealt with it. I legitimately lived with it. I had a outstanding job. I made $36 on the hour working in a damn paper mill. I was miserable.
And you absolutely hated it. You
I
hated every day that you went.
I hated it with a passion. And what's waking up going to something that you absolutely hate going to help you when you're already struggling? So for me, it made it worse for me. I mean, it
Oh,
just straight out made it worse for me. And I mean, I was going to work and having panic attacks, and f- with flicking a switch, my attitude would change, and I was more or less I was that asshole at work because that was just the way I could cope.
right.
To like I said, now I've been in the car business almost 2 years, and it was the best decision that I ever made when it comes to work. I go to work every day with a smile on my face. I'm the first person there. I'm the last person to leave. I love it. I love my job now. And because I love my job, my mental health has been like I told you earlier, it's always there. It's always a battle. But man, that battle is so much easier to deal with. That battle is so much easier to win, knowing that you're getting up every day to do something that you enjoy doing that still supports you and your family.
Right. So, and this isn't on my list of questions, but so what do you think between your past employment to this current employment? What is the difference that has made you actually enjoy being at work?
Uh, it's gonna sound funny as hell. As you already knew beforehand, when I got to core, I was that guy. I didn't even want to go into Walmart. I couldn't deal with people. Didn't want to talk to people. Didn't want to be around people. Didn't want to hear this. Didn't want to hear that. To now, I deal with people all day long, whether it's
Right.
on the phone or in person. And that itself has helped me grow and help me mentally fully through and through. You know, it, it's just it's weird. I don't know exactly how to explain it. It's just it's literally just beneficial. It's a weird question or a weird answer, I guess I should say.
It's interesting. I mean, and because you were, I mean, basically doing what I do, stay home. If you weren't at work, you were at home.
Hmm.
And you didn't, once you were home, you didn't want to go back out.
Nope.
So it's interesting to see the progression from that into literally dealing with people on a daily basis, hourly, minutely basis, that and actually enjoying it.
Well, not just that. You got to think. You think 8 months ago, I got up, I left my wife and my kids at home. I moved 5 hours away, lived with a very good friend of mine for 3 months to get
Mm-hmm.
established at a new job that I love doing, and was able to do that able to function, work, be very good at my job without my support team being there for me because of loving and doing what I enjoy doing. And that's what
Right.
allows me to do that. There would have been no other job that I could have left my wife and my kids, my support team, and be gone for that long periods of time like I can now.
No, and I mean, especially,
So
and
it's
that
a big
just
change.
mean
It's a big change for me.
absolutely. It was a big change for all of you, but I think it was, overall a very good change. And and just talking to Paige here and there too, I catch her side as well. And you being happy leads to everyone being happy because they're not dealing with your bullshit.
Well, absolutely, 100%. They're like I'm not coming home from a miserable job that I hated. Come home as being a more or less a dick of a husband or a dick of a father that just wanted to come home, go to bed, and not be around anybody because my day was shot. My day was shit, and I just wanted to get the hell away. So the easiest way to get away is come home, go to bed.
Right.
To now, hey, you know what? Let's get up. Let's go do this. Hey, let's get up. Let's go do this. Hey, you know what? I worked all day long. I'm home at 8 o'clock. Hey, Gordon, let's get on the game. We'll play the game for 2 hours before we got to go to bed so you can get up in the morning for school and I can get up and go to work. Hey, let's goof off. Hey, you know what? It's 8:30 at night. Hey, let's go out. Let's go get something to eat. Let's go to dinner. Where before, as I, I couldn't do that. I mean, I
Right.
physically, mentally could not make myself do that.
Right. And, just as a perspective, before when you went out, you had a service dog.
100%. 100%. Couldn't
And
go anywhere.
now, and
Didn't
now
wanna
you
go
don't.
anywhere without a dog. I couldn't. I mean,
Right.
that was what I could hold dear to me because in
Absolutely.
my head, I knew that no matter what, that service dog was there to keep me in check, to keep me locked in, I could count on. To now, I don't have to have that. I don't know if you wanna call it getting better, I don't know if you wanna call it maturing, what have you. But the good Lord up above has allowed me to grow as a human and more
I
or less
think
adapt.
I think honestly I would just call that growth period because, you know, it's not because you needed to mature. I mean,
Well,
you are in the overall aspect of things, you're a mature adult. The reason you needed a service dog wasn't because you weren't mature. The reason you needed a service dog was to focus your mind on something other than the situation that you were in,
yeah, the
to give
service
you
dog
to
gave
give you
me
an outlet.
right. It gave me an outlet. It gave me accountability of something that I could focus on and hyper focus on while out in the public.
Right. To take your mind off of the social anxiety aspect of your mental health.
100%.
But I mean, and I said that because that's a huge advancement in your recovery process here is, and I honestly didn't really think about it until now of shit, we went through what, 3 service dogs
Three,
before,
three service dogs. Yep, 3 service dogs
and
is what we went through.
now you're doing it without. Like that's a total 180. Like that's great. Um
Don't
let's
get
just
me
take
wrong. I feel like my dogs. I got a little Scottish terrier that I
I've
bought
seen it.
when I moved here, and I love that little thing to pieces. Now I don't bring her nowhere because she's fucking crazy. But when I
I've
come
seen
home, it's nice that she sits on my lap. She sleeps on my pillow above my head.
Paige. We'll take just a little break here. We can just chat. All right. Question time.
All right, well, let's get to it. I'll answer some fucking questions.
What changes would you like to see in how we approach mental health care in America?
The only thing that I would like to see happen more when it comes to mental health is for all kids. I don't care, from the time they start school until they're not kids no more. We have to educate, and that's all it is. And that's my opinion on it. We have to educate. Back home this past week, we had a senior in the high school commit suicide. A boy that's 17 years old. Could have been stopped, or could have there that something could have happened, and that's just the way I look at it. He's a
Mhm.
17-year-old boy. There's signs that people should be looking out for. Definitely being at school, you got friends, you got teachers that see you every day in, day out. So if people aren't educated on it, not educated on what to notice, then that's when you end up having a sad moment like back home is dealing with right now. So
Sure.
my big thing that I wish would happen more, which is just simple, it's just education. We spend how many years? You spend 12 years going through school, not counting college, right? So how hard is it to educate children and young adults on mental health, on what to look for, on how to try to handle certain things when those are real life things? Real life. I mean, no shit, life and death. When we have no issues teaching about history, thank goodness. Don't get me wrong. We have no issue teaching us science, forensics, music, but yet real life stuff we do not prep people for. And once you become an adult, say you're 30, you're 40 years old, you've already went through your learning phase of life. So now it's harder for you to understand it, grasp it. And I use myself as an example of that. And I said it earlier, my dad. My dad was a very, very strict, hard guy that downed me, told me, it's all in my head, get over it. There's no reason for this. Oh, you can fix that, blah, 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 blah. Because he was never educated on it.
So, and this is just my way of looking at it. You bring up education, but would you, as a 15-year-old kid, would you have looked at mental health then the same as you do now?
Oh, absolutely not, because I hadn't lived life yet. But as a 15-year-old kid, I didn't even know the shit existed.
So, what, as in your personal opinion, what would be beneficial to teach the 15-year-old kid to get them to open their eyes into what mental health is at that age? Because you know how hard it is for a kid to actually grasp something that serious, because we all were shit up until a couple years ago, we were all still blowing it off.
No, absolutely, 100%, and I agree, and it would be hard, and I'm not saying go through details, go through in depth details of it, but make it where you know about it. Make it to where you least understand the fact that it exists and it is there. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to, because I mean, hell, us as adults, I'm 33 years old. I don't fucking understand it. So I don't expect a 15-year-old kid to understand it either. But make it to where you teach them, hey, you know what? Definitely for boys, for young men, let them understand that hey, it is okay to have a conversation. It is okay to talk about the rough shit in your life. Hey, guess what? Through the time that you start dating until the time you get married, hopefully you stay married, but then by the time you get divorced, by the time you get remarried again, you're going to go through heartache. We all have. Every person in this world has gone through heartache. I don't care who they are. So, okay, you're going through heartache and you look at it as definitely as a young man, that heartache hits you differently. But if you're able to understand that it hits you differently and you're able to know that you can have an open conversation with somebody about it because somebody else, you're aware that somebody else has dealt with that before or has the same issue that you're going through at that moment. At the end of the day, it's still education. It's allowing that individual to know that it's okay to speak about it, letting the education know that you're not the only one dealing with that, and leave it at that. A little bit of knowledge is better than none. So, like I said, I don't necessarily mean to fully teach them anything and everything that there is about mental health, but make it to where you're at least having a conversation about it, to acknowledge that it exists and that it is there and that it is okay that it is there.
I would strongly agree with that, actually. I think there's a lot of ways that you could branch off of that into other topics, but I think just the core statement that you made there would be a super beneficial first step towards closing the gaps of what we currently are doing in the country regarding mental health.
100%. Because, like I said, mental health is really and truly is looked at as a joke. And it's not.
It
It's not
is.
something to play with.
And anymore, unfortunately, it's leading to a lot of bullying in schools and just terrible thing and
Well, that's a
substance
different story
use.
because kids nowadays, kids are ruthless.
Yeah,
Kids are mean. And that's coming from somebody. I'm not a sensitive individual. I'm not by no means. But kids nowadays are mean. And I see it, you know, I'm very fortunate, at least that I know of. I have a soon to be 13-year-old son that's autistic. You know, I don't know if he's bullied at school. Would I imagine that he probably is here and there at times? Absolutely. Because fucking kids are mean. Now, granted, to him, thankfully, he looks at it like he don't give a shit because he doesn't.
right.
But for some kids, that bullying, man, that shit's no joke. It beats a kid down, and then they have, like I said, they don't understand the emotions that they're feeling that is getting created from being bullied because they don't understand it. They don't know about it. Nobody's talking about
We're talking about it, but we're not talking about it in the right aspects
it. Well,
because we're talking about it. We're only talking about it when it leads to a school shooting,
yes.
somebody losing their life, or somebody reaching out for help. That's the only three instances we're talking about.
And it's getting talked about what for 2 weeks after an event.
Maybe 7 days.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I think, and I'm a firm believer in it, that you start the youth off explaining to them, just like I said, that they're not going to understand it. And that's fine. Just make them aware of it, that they're not the only ones dealing with that type of issue, that there is people out there that's willing to listen, willing to help. There's ways to get help. Like I said, I know it. I'm a living, breathing it every day. I mean, at the end of the day, I should have been dead 5 years ago.
I think we all have that outlook. We should all be grateful as to how far we've made it through life without something serious happening. We've been closer than what we may like to admit most of the time. But man, something's got to change, and I don't know what it is, and it may be what we're talking about now, and it may be something totally different. But something has to change, and we have to at least take a step forward to figure out what the hell we're doing in this country with substance and mental health issues.
Well, and you're right. And now we talk about countrywide, and me as an example, as a veteran, you know, almost half of the veterans end up committing suicide.
In 2022, there were 6,400 veterans that committed suicide.
Right. That's a shit ton of people. And it's not talked about. It's that there's no guidance on it. And I think that's an issue on its own as well. Yes, congratulations. We have the VA. As we all know, at least even people that are not vets, everybody knows the VA sucks.
I've actually got some VA geared questions here once we finish these. So we're going to touch on the VA because I know I wanted to ask you those questions specifically because you've had such a time with the VA.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'll leave it until you ask me those questions. I'll leave it at the VA sucks. So there's a lot of vets out there that need the help, can't get the help, don't know where to go to get the help, and so they take the only route they know. And there they are. Now we're putting them 6 foot under, and here they are 25 years old, a whole life left to live, and it's over with. And it ain't that they're weak or they're weak minded, it's that life is shit. Life is hard. Being a veteran is hard because of the transition into the real world, which is funny too, because civilian wise, and I've dealt with it for years, civilian wise, people look at it and say, oh, you know what? I couldn't join the military. Couldn't join the military. The military's so hard. The military's so hard. Well, it ain't the military. It's life. Life itself is hard. And then trying to switch from the military transition into civilian transition is the issue.
Because you go from explain why.
You go from having so much structure.
Okay.
So you have structure, you have a plan, you have a set plan from day to day to now in the real world, it's on you. As in, hey, you know what? I got to get up in the morning. I got to get dressed. I got to go to work because that's how I get paid. If I don't get paid, I don't get to eat. If I don't get to eat, hey, you know what? I'm starving to death. Okay, well, military wise, hey, guess what? Somebody's going to wake my ass up. Somebody's going to make me go to work. I have free food. They're sending me to the chow hall. So you have that structure in the military. Plus, on top of that, going from military to the civilian world, you are definitely and I'm going to say it, sorry for all those other fellers that get their feelings hurt, but the Marine Corps is a different ball game. Okay. The Marine Corps is a legitimate lifestyle. It is a break you down and create you into what the core wants you to be.
This is coming from a guy that eats crayons.
Absolutely, 100%.
Continue.
Pink's my favorite crayon. From
I'm
that,
gonna get clowned so hard for this episode.
from that to hitting the civilian world, that now in the core, you're living, breathing as a Marine, not just a normal everyday job. So now you go into the civilian world and you have to learn how to deal with people all over because in the core, if I'm at work, I'm in the motor corps and you're under rank of me, I'm your boss, and you do something wrong, I'll punch you in the fucking mouth, and that's how I'm going to
Right.
correct you. And it is what it is. I will punch you in the mouth. You're going to hit the ground. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to knock the dust off of you, and we'll go on our merry way. Nothing ever happened. To civilian world, hey, guess what? You upset me at work. I'm your boss. What am I going to do about it? Hell, nowadays I can't even fire you.
Right.
So you struggle with that. Plus, you just struggle with being in the real world because I tell you, and I've been out for quite a few years, and I look at civilians, and civilians are disgusting. Civilians don't keep their hair cut. Civilians don't keep their facial hair trimmed. They don't keep their clothes clean. They don't take care of themselves. They carry themselves in a shitty manner. So for me, I still deal with that struggle. Definitely now being in a club business and talking to a pile of people that I'm like, okay, well, this person is really taking care of themselves, not doing this, not doing this, or they're a piss poor parent where in the core I would fix it. I would try to fix that. There was a way for me to fix that to where now in the civilian world, you just mind your own fucking business.
Right. So, and I mean, that's where I was going to go with that. The whole constant structure, and then civilian life, you make your own structure, or you have to be your own provider of structure.
Yep.
But I know you were going to go deeper into that than how I was just going to phrase it. But I mean, but it's true though. I mean, I see it even. I went to a military structured police academy.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing, and with law enforcement. Hell, I sat down yesterday to eat dinner, and I literally ate a steak, probably 8 or so chicken wings, and a plate of rice and vegetables in 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I got done, and I was sitting there, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I wish I could just be fucking normal and eat at a normal pace like everybody else.
Actually taste your food.
Yeah. And I'm like, here I am, 8 years after being away from law enforcement and any type of that structure, I'm still eating my food and not looking up from the table
Mm-hmm.
and getting done so I can, watch out for that captain, lieutenant, colonel to walk through the door so you don't get smoked.
It's a lifetime. It's a lifestyle. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle. And it gets beat in your head, and which has to go with mental health all on its own because it's rewiring your brain to do things a certain way. And then once you realize that, or your brain gets rewired, everything that doesn't do the way that your brain is rewired is not normal to you no more.
That's because we're taught to move with a purpose.
Right. So now you look at everything else like, oh shit. And like myself, where I'm working now, which is the greatest, and that may be another reason why I strive so well, is, the owner, what I call my brother, that I came all the way 5 hours over into Newport News to work for, he's a veteran. He has the
Right.
same mentality that I have, that I carry.
So there's a mental connection there that makes you guys jive together more, you think?
Oh, 100%. And that's what I think that has to do a lot with me enjoying my job so much. It's not necessarily just a job, it's the environment, it's necessarily the people that I'm around.
It's a comfortable, more familiar environment per se.
100%, 100%. Don't get me wrong, I make jokes of him. He was in the Air Force, but now he was Special Forces in the Air Force.
I know somebody else was in the Air Force.
Oh, yeah, me too. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but yes, I do too.
I haven't talked to him either.
He's
Should have got him.
a firefighter. But like I say, like you
Hose
said, I call
dragger.
him. His name's Rick. I call him my brother. I do just about anything in this world for him, as I've witnessed firsthand what he will do for me. And
Right.
we jive. We had the same mentality. We had the same pace. We had the same mindset. And for me, going to work every day, knowing that helps me tremendously.
Right.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Quadcast.
Remember, breaking stigma doesn't stop when the episode ends. We're building a movement, and you're a part of it. Stay strong, stay aware, and stay connected.
And this is the Quadcast, signing out.